Students, this is your video. It's 2.2 and 2.3 practice solving inequalities. You guys did this with Coach Smith yesterday on 9-3. We are going to have a test on Tuesday when you get back from the long holiday. I'll create a separate review video for that, and it'll be posted over the weekend sometime. For this homework, he assigned you 6 problems. I'm going to work 3 of them on here. Remember that you're responsible for all of the problems that he assigned you. Alright, the first one we're going to do here, number 4. Solving inequalities and solving equations is the same except for one step. And that one step is if you divide or multiply by a negative, then you flip the inequality. Alright, so here we draw our line down. We box this negative 5j like we normally would. There's nothing to move from the box, so when it's beside it, we go straight to divide. Divide. We divide by both sides by a negative 5. Those cancel. J comes down to here. Because we did this right here, that is that rule right there. If you multiply or divide by a negative, you flip the sign. So this sign flips to be greater than or equal to 10 divided by negative 5 is negative 2. Alright? So J is greater than or equal to negative 2. Coach showed you a picture yesterday, and that picture looked like this. And he showed you another picture, and that looked like this, and these faces were to help you remember what type of dot to use. Since ours has the equal to underneath it, we use a closed dot. We put that closed dot at negative 2, so we go here to negative 2, closed dot. This arrow is pointing towards the right, so we draw our arrow pointing towards the right. Okay. Next one. Alright, so I draw my line down here, and I notice that there's a lot of simplification that has to happen on this one. Be careful, you cannot subtract those. If you think about PEMDAS, subtraction is way down here, so we almost never start with subtraction. So we're going to distribute this because that is multiply, and that's before that. So a negative 2 times x and negative 2 times 2. So that's negative 2x and negative 4. Bring down your 3, bring down your symbol, bring down your 1. Next thing we're going to do is combine like terms. 3 and negative 4 are like terms. So 3 minus 4 is negative 1. Bring down your negative 2x. Bring down everything else. At this point, we're ready to box the negative 2x. Plus 1 to both sides, plus 1 to both sides. Those cancel out. Bring down your negative 2x. Symbol, 1 plus 1 is 2. Last step, when it's beside it, we divide it. And because I'm dividing by a negative 2, I have to flip the symbol. So those cancel, and that becomes x. 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. And this one does not ask you to graph. But if we were asked to graph, we would go to where negative 1 is, put a closed dot, and then that points to the left. So we would draw to the left. This problem. It says Maxwell wants to spend no more than $125. So if you have $125 to spend, that means that you have to spend less than or equal to your amount of money. And anytime you're going out to spend money, it's less than or equal to, because you can spend all the way up to your money or any amount less than that. He needs to buy 30 bottles of shampoo, and means you're going to add. He has a shipping cost of that, $24.95. We're supposed to write an inequality, and our end goal is to find out the cost of the shampoo. So we know how many shampoos, but we do not know the cost. So the cost becomes our x. So we're going to buy 30 of those x's, plus we have a standard fee or set fee of $24.95. We draw our line down. We go ahead and box. And the only difference here is that these numbers are not as pretty because they are real world. So we're going to minus $24.95 from both sides. That cancels out. I bring down my 30x is less than or equal to 125 minus $24.95 is $100.05. When it's beside it, we divide by 30. I don't flip because that's a positive 30. Divided by 30. I get an answer of 3.335. Okay, and so remember that's money, so the decimals are okay. So we're saying it has to be less than or equal to $3 and approximately 34 cents, because that would round up. 3.34. Okay, so we want the most expensive shampoo but it still has to be less than 334. So that's too much, that's too much, that works, that's not big enough. So 3 is the correct answer. If you're not sure about any of the things that we've been doing, let's come to tutoring on Tuesday morning in A16, and let's be there at 8 o'clock so that we make sure that we do well on our test. Remember to look for the test review video. It will take place on your own paper, so you'll need a piece of notebook paper, a piece of white paper to do that, but I will allow you to use it on your test, so make sure that you watch it.